regular meeting of the Utility Service Board of Monday, July 31st. The first item on the agenda is to approve the minutes from our meeting of July 17th. Are there any changes or comments to the minutes? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Next, we will have the approval of the claims. First are the standard invoices for a total of $688,072.38. Are there questions on the standard invoices? Kirk?
Yes, I need to show an abstention on the two items. I think there's two line items to Indiana University.
Yes.
Otherwise, I'll vote yes. So we can just record that, and I abstain on those two items.
Okay.
Thank you.
Are there any questions? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve with the abstention on those items from Mr. White?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Next are the utility bills for a total of $101,378.15. Any questions or changes? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Wire transfers for a total of $420,232.45. Are there any questions or changes? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Finally, the customer refunds for a total of $941.81. Are there any questions? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. The next item on the agenda is our consent agenda with Vic.
My screen just went blank. Hang on a second. Okay. Apologize, I was just looking right at it and it disappeared from me. Okay. Happy to bring the consent agenda tonight totaling $4,740. The first item, A, is to Bledsoe, Riggert, Cooper, and James for topographic survey of the sludge landfill at the Dillman plant. That's $1,700. The second item is to Heflin Industries for backflow testing in the amount of $3,040. Would any of the board members like to consider any of these items individually? Hearing none, if there's no opposition, the consent agenda is approved as recommended by staff. And with no opposition, the consent agenda is approved. Thank you.
Thank you. The next item on the agenda is the request for the approval of the First Amendment to the agreement with Commonwealth Engineers, and that is Dan Hudson.
Sporting a new logo.
Yeah, you like that? It's a good shirt. Well, for the record, I'm Dan Hudson, the Capital Projects Manager for the City of Bloomington Utilities. And this project is for Commonwealth Engineer, who's designing the upgrades to two booster stations, water booster stations that we have. And during the process of the design, we found that we needed to do a structural feasibility study for the west booster station due to the amount of water in the basement, in the bottom part of the building. They also need to design an extension of the building at this south central booster station to house the VFDs. And these were not part of the original study, so they're requesting an amendment of $199,561 for a new not to exceed of $607,996. I'm open to questions. Be glad to receive questions on this.
All right, hearing none, Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Dan, don't move, I think you're up.
Back on stage.
Yep, you're back. Oh, you're coming back.
Yes.
Making a grand entrance, huh? Okay, and now, so we have Dan again with another request for a change order, correct?
Again, I'm Dan Hudson, Capital Projects Manager for the City of Bloomington Utilities. And this project is for Thieneman Construction. They're doing the construction work for the bar screens at the Monroe Water Treatment Plant. And during the process of construction, they found there was a failure in one of the flow control valves in one of the major pumps, pump number 2. And so by swapping the valves around with another pump and adding a electric actuator, they're requesting $19,815.45 with a new not to exceed of $1,573,815.45. Get that out. I'm open to questions, pertaining questions on this.
If there aren't any questions, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you.
Motion passes. All right. The next item on the agenda is Brian Blake with a request to approve a land sale.
Hello.
Hi, Brian.
I am Brian Blake, Project Coordinator, Easements and Acquisitions for the City of Bloomington Utilities. What we're looking at here is the county has a project on Roar Road. CBU has a parcel that is affected by that project. It's rebuilding a bridge. They want to acquire a small piece of that parcel to complete their project. It's very small. It's .0, I think it's 200ths of an acre, if I'm not mistaken. So it's a small piece of that parcel, and it really doesn't affect anything that we would do with it in the future by allowing them to go through with this. That's it in a nutshell. Do you have any questions?
Value is $650, is that correct?
That is what they've come up with. Well, it's such a small piece.
Yeah.
I think the math comes out to about roughly 900 square feet, so it's a really small piece. They did provide an appraisal, which should have been forwarded to you.
Do you think we've spent more than $650 putting all of this together to make this happen?
Well, we didn't put it together. The
Not
county
us,
did.
no, I'm just saying.
Yeah, exactly,
The
yes.
taxpayers have put this together. Anyway, are there any questions on this?
I just wonder, what do we do with the $650?
I don't-
It's just another source of income, we sold the property.
Building fund.
Yeah,
I didn't know if there's like a designated fund if, we sell something or.
not that I'm aware of, but
No,
we just
okay,
added to
thank you.
ENR.
I mean,
All right.
I just look at I know this, it's just bureaucracy,
Yeah.
but it's like
Sure.
This is a lot of work.
$650, people.
Yeah.
Anyway, are there any questions? Or is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Okay, is there any old business from the board? Is there any new business? Oh.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry, Megan,
No,
go ahead.
I guess this is the time to bring it up. I think it was like June 19th or 20th when we met and we discussed an MOU with the city. And then we had some questions, and then unless I missed something, we've not heard back yet on anything. So I just wondered if there's an update coming soon. The interdepartmental agreement? Okay. Just because when I was thinking about we're budgeting and things, like, we have 207 employees, I just wondered. So I'll be looking forward to seeing that on the agenda. Thank you. Okay. Okay.
Okay. Is there any new business or old business from staff? New business from the board? New business from staff? Staff reports? Oh, my apologies. I went right over that. Subcommittee reports.
Subcommittee reports. The Finance Committee met this evening prior to our regular meeting, and we had 2 orders of business on the agenda. Our first was the Winston Thomas Financial Analysis presentation by Jennifer Wilson. She shared that the $41 million project could be paid for at a total cost of $57 million. There would not be, with our current rate, it could be paid for by using money that has been set aside for extra maintenance and things and repairing old pipes. We took all of that information under advisement, and we'll be reviewing it and considering it for the new project. Also within that report were 2 appraisals of our current facility, one coming in at 2.7 million, the other at 4.1. So we received that information today, and we'll be considering that as well. On that point, is there anything that should be added? Okay. The other item on our agenda was the 2024 budget presentation by Vic and Matt. Our committee voted in favor of that. We did have some discussion on the utility dog that could help sniff out sewer breaks that our equipment cannot tell us, and hopefully save money for the utility and the ratepayers who have these breaks in their yards. Any other comments about the budget? So our committee did recommend approving the budget as presented with some numbers fixed in the presentation.
Now, does the board, do we as the board need to approve that as from the subcommittee? Okay, so
So
you should move
I
that.
will make a motion to approve the 2024 utility budget as recommended, with exception of fixing the numbers on the presentation.
Are there any questions about the motion on the table? All right, hearing none, is there a motion to approve?
Just a second.
Oh, is there a second? I'm sorry.
Second.
Great. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Right. The budget passes. Thank you. And thank you, everyone, to all of the board members. Thank you for coming in and hearing the budget presentation, and to Vic and to Matt and to Missy. I'm sure everyone has been, and to all the department heads. Budget process is just not fun. And some people enjoy it. I'm sure, Matt, you probably love this part of your job. But it is just something that we all have to do every year. But it's an important part of our jobs, and especially when we're working, in any business, but especially when you're representing the ratepayers, when you're working with the city, when you're working with the government. We appreciate all of the work that you guys put into it, and all of the staff members drilling down into the numbers and drilling down into all of that. We appreciate you guys, and thank you for all of the hard work on it. So we appreciate it. Are there any staff reports?
Just a couple. The first one is we have, in July, we have 2 new employees, David Brown and David Jones, have hired in as utility specialist 1s in T&D. We have 4 moves within the department. Toby Axum has moved from meter technician 2 into utility specialist 1. Parker Isles has moved from being a temporary part-time hydrant specialist to being a regular full-time utility specialist 1. Isaiah Trissler on a temporary part-time service line specialist is now a regular full-time utility specialist one. And Troy Kilgore moves from a TPT marketing specialist to being a communications operator. So welcome all the new employees, and congratulations on the transfers. I'm happy to see part-time employees moving into full-time positions, and that's a good thing for us. Just the only other thing I wanted to talk about, I've been talking a lot tonight, so I do want to talk a little bit about the schedule. Since the budget recommendation has been approved, we will be going to council with that. Our presentation is on the 29th. The budget hearing is in the evening. So we will, that night, it's usually fire, police, transit, and us, and we're usually last, but we'll see how that works out this year. So that's the next phase in the budget process. For utilities, the other thing in terms of schedule, we are putting together additional information about the proposal for Winston-Thomas. We anticipate we'll be bringing, at some point in the near future, we'll be bringing proposals for implementing the grading program and site restoration plan at the Winston-Thomas property, and we'll also be bringing more details about how the financial breakdown of the project that you saw in the financing report from Crow. We'll bring more information about that to try and fill in more details. Our hope would be that if the board is willing, that we would begin moving forward on trying to find an architect and bring them and get them under contract sometime in the fourth quarter to move on to the next step. As we've said before, that project has lots of places to stop, and so the next thing to start on would be possible design, and we still would not have a final decision on whether to proceed until that's complete. So I just wanted to fill you in on all that, and I don't have anything else for tonight, so thank you.
Vic, does that, the discussion of the appraisal, the financial, the additional information on the Winston-Thomas proposal, does that somehow potentially justify a property and planning subcommittee meeting, or I don't know
Planning,
what
it
we
would-
should
I think
do
that's-
about that.
I think property and planning is probably the proper, I'm saying proper a lot, that's probably the best place to bring it.
Yeah.
And so
Because
I would,
I feel like that could be that could probably end up being a pretty in-depth discussion, and if you think that might be best served in a subcommittee, we could certainly explore that.
I think that's a good
If it fits
idea.
if it fits into that schedule, and if not, let's adjust to make it do that.
okay, I think that's a good idea. So Frank can put together property and planning for that night. And we probably should plan for an hour, because there'll be a lot of questions.
Yeah, and maybe it could also just encompass the financial aspect of it. If it,
We can-
I don't know what it's going to.
We'll pull in everything we know at that point.
Yeah. And then that way we could just kind of try to update everybody on where we are, and hopefully, the property and planning committee could do it, or subcommittee could be the mechanism for it, but again, invite any board members to please, come
And if we
Hash
want
it out.
if we want to have you consider any resolutions or anything associated with that, we'll have those ready.
absolutely.
So we would shoot for the 28th.
Okay, yeah. Great,
Thank you.
great. Are there any petitions or communications from anyone else? Great, hearing none, is there a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
Great. Meeting's adjourned.